Greetings, Commanders, and welcome back to the Deep Space Carrier series here in Elite Dangerous. Let's get on the road and try to find some really cool exobiology and other exploration-related stuff. I did actually remember to turn on the Elite Observatory this time before we got into the video. I have a really bad habit of forgetting to turn that on, and then we're halfway through an episode, and I'm like, oh yeah, let me turn that back on, and maybe the program kind of helps us find interesting things to go and look at sometimes. To be perfectly honest with you, it doesn't really find that much because there just really isn't that much to find, but it gives us a much better... Why did I do that? I deactivated it before I was really ready. But, you know, it gives us a better chance of actually coming across something. So, we'll turn it on and keep going. As always, I'd like to ask you to help us reach 10,000 subscribers, like the video to push it out to other people, and then go check out the channel for the, over 1,700 videos we have over there. Give you something to watch. Go ahead and hop into the next system so we can see if we can actually find something cool in this episode. I believe in the last episode we found, I was, at the end of the episode I was talking about how I wanted to come up with an interesting name for the wiffle ball looking biology that we found there. Check out the last video if you want to see what I was talking about. So, I was trying to come up with, like, I didn't want to do it with, like, space wiffle balls or something pedantic like that. So I ended up going with, a cross of little green men and wiffle balls. So, little green wiffle balls. There you go. It's the best I could come up with. I'm not super clever or creative or anything like that. My video titles are always going to be something like that. Something like that. I want them to be. Are we having a hard time getting out of there? I want them to be clever enough to get people's attention, but not clickbaity. So I try really hard to come up with something that sounds vaguely interesting, but isn't going to be like, hey, this wasn't in the video. So I try to make sure I do that. But the first system that we found into didn't actually end up having anything in it, just a star. So let's hop into the next one and see if we can actually find something interesting to do. Really cool. I literally just finished watching a video where apparently a Russian flanker decided it was going to pass within 8 feet of a United States Viper. That's kind of disconcerting when that happens. The theories that from the channel that I was watching were that maybe the Russian pilot was trying to do one maneuver and ended up screwing it up, or he was just being reckless. those are the two working theories for that. From the video, and their estimate was that they think that the Russian plane came within like 8 feet of the Viper. And based off the video I saw, I think I kind of agree with that, especially when you consider that most of these like GoPro videos that you see have the wide-angle lens that makes things look much further away than they actually are. So, yeah, that was pretty yeah, it was a pretty intense situation right there. So I'm sure if you go on YouTube, you could probably find videos of it. By the time this video posts, that the incident will be at least a day old by then. So, because I record videos that post the next day from when I record them, because I want to give I do have a few channel members, and I want to make sure that they have a chance to have early access to the videos, because that's one of the perks that they get. Speaking of channel members, I'm trying really hard to avoid moving over into a negative territory, so I want to preface this by saying I'm not trying to complain or anything. I know that sounds bad when you say it that way. I'm not trying to complain. I'm a little bit, I don't want to say disappointed or slightly frustrated at the speed at which my channel is growing. And so I say that because I am, I've been doing the same kind of thing for a long time, and the channel is growing, but it's not really growing at a rate where I got some biology there. It's not really growing at a rate where I feel like it's going to become something substantial even within the next couple of years. So I'm not really sure what to do about that, and that's why I'm bringing it up. It's not so much that, I want to sit here and whine that, oh, woe is me, my channel isn't what I want, my channel isn't growing fast enough. It's more, one of the goals I have for this channel is for it to become a relatively significant income stream for me. And the only way that happens is if the channel grows and starts getting reasonable numbers of views and things like that. And for the first year and a half, I guess, that I've been doing this seriously, I didn't really expect to get to. I didn't really expect my channel to turn into anything. So I've been kind of doing the same thing for a while, and not really thinking really hard about ways to make my channel better or make my content better or things like that, because for a couple of different reasons. First and foremost, I personally am just a big fan of more of a let's play content kind of thing, where you sit down and you just kind of watch somebody play. Now, and that doesn't mean that I necessarily always want to sit there through the entire thing. It's one of the reasons I don't watch live streams. It's because I do want to be able to skip parts if I get bored with it. So I like the Let's Play format because, you know, I want to feel like I'm hanging out with the person who's playing while I'm watching it. Like if I'm going to sit down and watch somebody play a game, I want to feel like I'm, you know, hanging out with them in real time for as long as I feel like hanging out with them in real time, and then, but I still want the ability to be able to fast forward through things. So it's I kind of understand most people's desire to have curated, edited content and all of that, but at the same time, I don't know that I struggle with it because I personally don't really care for that, because you're relying on the content creator to decide what you see and what you don't see. And you know, I get that for most people that's fine. That's the way they want it to be. They just want to be provided with an experience, and that's it. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I get it, I guess. But that's only part of the reason. That's only part of the reason. Part of the reason I avoid things like, you know, doing highly edited videos and things like that is I prefer videos that aren't super processed and edited and, you know, all of that, because I feel like I get a more genuine experience when the person just sits down, does whatever it is, you know, plays whatever game they're going to play, or talks about whatever it is that they're going to talk about, or, you know, that's one of the reasons why I think, you know, podcasts and stuff have become such a thing, because you feel like you're getting a much more genuine experience rather than some kind of a, you know, highly processed, polished, you know, it feels fake. It's like, it's one of the reasons why, you know, television in general had a hard time over the years catching people's attention, because, you know, it requires a special thing to be able to take something that's ultra processed and then repackage it in a way that comes off as genuine. So only a certain number of shows, you know, a small percentage of shows on television over the years have become memorable because they were able to figure out how to do that. And then the rest of them were just like, oh, this is just a TV show. So the reason I bring that, the reason I'm saying that is that it's a multifaceted reason for why my channel is the way my channel is. And it's one of the reasons is because I want to provide you guys with a genuine experience of, you know, who I am, rather than just selectively editing things out of the process. But then also, you know, the second reason, and if I'm honest with myself, it's probably the biggest reason, I'm not lazy. Like, it's easy to say the word lazy. That's not really my problem. I can become, you know, super obsessive over something and spend hours and hours and hours and hours and an inordinate number of hours working on something. I'm not lazy. I just don't have a lot of patience for tasks that I don't care about, or that I don't want to do, or that, you know, just doesn't seem like something, it doesn't engage me mentally. And video editing is one of those processes. I don't like doing it. So it's not laziness that prevents me from doing it. It's just a strong distaste for the process of video editing. Much like what I'm doing right now, as I've said many times, I can't stand the full spectrum system scanner process. It's tedious and boring and requires me to be actively involved in a process I don't really want to be doing in the first place. It's the same problem with video editing. So I've gone out of my way. You'll notice during the course of this video that there'll be pop-ups that happen that, you know, give you guys a call to action to do whatever, to subscribe and Discord and all that stuff, right? So that way I don't have to remember to say it, because I have a terrible memory for... Oh, speak of the devil. I have a terrible memory for trying to do things like that, and if I can have something that's just automated and takes that mental load off of my plate, then I prefer to do that. So it's the same thing for video editing, right? Like I want to have something, I want to have things set up in a way so that I don't have to do much video editing or any video editing at all. And I pretty much removed the video editing process from my videos. Anytime I need to do something where I know there's going to be a long, boring section, I'll just pause the video. And I created a transition to fade to black and then return a reverse fade from black. To start my videos back up again, to make it to where it's not like super jarring or anything like that. So, you know, there's clever ways you can do to do basic editing tasks rather than having to put it in your software. Because one of the things I've had to struggle with is just the other part of that is just the fact that the video editing with the hardware that I have, it takes me about as long to render a video as it does to sit down and to record the video. For however long the video is, it takes about that long for me to render it. So not only do I have to spend the time recording the video and getting all the footage for it, and then I also have to spend the time editing it, and then also I can't really do anything else with my computer other than just browse the internet. I can't play any other games, I can't record any other games, I can't do anything else that's graphic intensive while the video is rendering. And for a half-hour video, that's a half hour out of my day that I can't be doing something else. I have to wait for my computer to finish that. I don't have another machine to do that. I can't afford another machine to do that. Like, it's just I'm not in a place where I can make that happen. So there's a lot of reasons. Most of it is, and I'm gonna be honest, most of it is that I detest video editing. I don't want to do it. But there's also just the fact that, you know, it takes up a lot of extra time out of my day when I really need to be doing other things. So anyways, I'm going through a laundry list of reasons as to why my channel is the way that it is. But at the same time, and it's mostly because I just need to have something to talk about. Like, this video series is mostly about me chatting with you guys. So I talk about whatever pops into my head. But at the same time, you know, excuses, right? So I want to try to, I don't know. I don't know. I would like to figure out some kind of tweak to make to my content to make it a little bit more appealing, maybe, or make it a little bit more accessible. I guess, you know, thumbnails are probably the first and foremost thing that I should be working on, but again, that's another thing where I'm just like, I don't want to do that. That's like, because here's the thing, I'm not super creative, I'm not super artistic. I can what's the word? What I'm trying to get? Like, I can run a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. I'm creative enough. Wait, was there? I wasn't even paying attention. Was there stuff here? I can run a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. I enjoy a great story. I've written the first of a trilogy of books, of fantasy novels. That doesn't sell at all. So, you know, that tells you about how good I am at writing books. But the point is that, you know, and there's a reason I'm not in advertising. It's because I don't have the patience, and I also just don't have the eye for that kind of stuff. So I could sit down and make custom thumbnails and stuff like that, but I don't even really know what to do for that. You know, I just don't have that ability. So it's one of those things where it's just like, I know I should be doing something with my thumbnails, a little bit more than what I have, but I don't even really know what to do. Like, I don't know. And then the idea of having to stop and spend 15, 20 minutes probably, maybe even half an hour every video trying to A, figure out what I'm going to make the thumbnail be, B, actually sitting there and tweaking the image to make the thumbnail and then uploading it to the channel. It's like all this stuff adds up to a lot of extra time, and it's all boring things that I just really don't want to do. So again, like, it's all the excuse factory. I'm fully aware of that, and that's why I'm like, what can I do to the channel that I'd actually be willing to do consistently that would actually make a difference in my metrics? And I don't know. I'm talking about it now because, you know, there's a vague hope in my head that maybe somebody will have like a low-hanging fruit kind of idea. Hey, you could try this. and I'll be like, oh yeah, let me start doing that. I don't really know. The unfortunate thing is that for YouTube anyway, or for a lot of things anyways, the world in general is just full of competition. One biological source on a what? On a high metal content world? We'll go check it out because we're halfway through the video and we haven't really found anything yet. It's just the sheer amount of competition, the number of people on YouTube and you know, other various platforms trying to do exactly what I'm trying to do is staggering. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot of people. And you know, I am directly competing for your attention with all of them, and that's a lot of competition. And to be perfectly honest with you, you know, 1,700. I'm almost at 1,700 subscribers at this point. That doesn't sound like a lot, but when you look at the sheer number of channels, of active channels, of people trying to do this, the number of people who have broken into the 1,000 subscriber mark, the actual becoming a YouTube partner, is actually pretty small. It's like 1% or something like that, or 10%. Maybe I think 10% of channels have 1,000 subscribers or more. So, you know, what I've already done so far with just what I'm willing to do with the channel is actually relatively impressive when you look at the grand scheme of YouTube and other content creation platforms. But at the same time, you know, if the goal is to turn this into something that helps to pay the bills, well, you need to do a lot more. And I don't really know what to do because that's just, you know, I'm trying. I'm a good performer. I'm not necessarily good at advertising, I guess. I don't know. Like the advertising for your channel on YouTube isn't really like traditional advertising. It's all algorithm based. Can you get your video in front of people? Does your thumbnail attract people's attention enough to make them click on the video? And then is the first few minutes of is the first 30 seconds, I guess, basically, of your video interesting enough to most people to keep them watching long enough to shove an ad in front of their face? Like, that's just kind of the way it works. So, you know, obviously, I feel like the content that I make over the course of a video is interesting enough for most people. I think I need to try some different. Introductions, and I'm almost positive that I need to start reducing the amount of things Whoa. Okay, we definitely need to go after that. 5 biological sources. Because you'll notice, if you watch this channel on a regular basis, you'll notice that the intro I did this morning for this video is significantly short. Whoa! By a lot. Oh, okay. We're definitely going after that. It's significantly shorter than what I would typically do. And that's because I feel like I'm probably... Wow. Okay, we're staying in this system probably for a couple of episodes then. That's a lot. 2 different 8 biology planets. You'll notice that the intro I did at the beginning of this video is much shorter, or I don't know if it's much shorter, but it's a fair bit shorter than what I typically would do, because I'm trying to hurry up and get to the part where I'm not doing the repetitive stuff. So what was the fast orbit? 6 hours. Fast orbit of 6 hours is like, you know, that's not really that fast. Not visually, anyway. I mean, I know it's fast compared to, you know, what the other things are, but it's not really that. That's not really that crazy. Okay, so we got a little bit here.
System scan complete.
All right, well, let's head over to this guy. Oh, I wonder how far away it was. I wasn't even really paying attention to that. It's too busy talking. Oh, that's not bad. So, for beyond 2,000 light seconds, I'm just going to wait for like 5 or 6 seconds. Okay, let's get this guy Super Cruise assisted. And then we'll pop in there. So anyways, I lost my train of thought. You know, the unfortunate truth is that a lot of people get on YouTube to just have a few minutes of their attention being held. And there's a lot of content out there for that. Most people who get on YouTube aren't really looking for, hey, let me sit down for half an hour and watch a video. So the market that I'm going after is much smaller than, say, what a lot of other content creators go after. But at the same time, I don't really want to go after that bigger market because it's just not who I am. I'm not a flashy person. I'm not a hey, look at me, I'm look at this crazy stuff I'm doing kind of person. That's just not who I am. It's not how I am. It's not even really what I want to be. I'm not interested in being like that. So like I accept the fact that my channel is never going to have like millions of subscribers. I'm not that kind of a person to begin with. Even if I was doing different, like I have an RV channel that I'm starting right now. I don't expect that to ever grow like super crazy big because I don't have the personality and energy to carry a channel like that. And I don't want to become that kind of a person. I'm not interested in being the flashy, hey, you know, I'm just not interested in that. I'm not that kind of person. I don't want to be that kind of a person. So I'm totally fine with that. But that does not mean that I do believe that I maybe have the capability of building a channel up into something that could be financially viable, especially if I could get 2 or 3 channels going on the various different things that I'm interested in, build them all up to the point where each one of them is making a decent RV. Bacteria, Cactoida, Concha, Fungoida, Osseous, Tubus, Frutexa, Tussock. Wow. All right. Looks like all of the other stuff is more or less in the same area, so we're going to leave Cactoida on here. We're going to turn off our Super Cruise Assist, and then we're going to go see what we can find. So, you know, if I could grow 2 or 3 channels even, up to the point where each of them is making, a modest amount of money, then my dream could come true, and I could have independent income for as long as YouTube is still a thing, and travel and do all those things that I want to do. But it's clear to me, based off of the growth that the minimal level of growth, in my opinion, that I feel like I'm getting, that I'm missing some things from the formula. I'm confident in my ability to present things in a way that people find interesting. I've always been relatively decent at conveying information. I've always been pretty good at doing presentations. I've always gotten that kind of feedback anytime I've done any kind of presentation or anything. And, you know, from the fact that people actually, you know, listen and watch my videos, I feel like the content itself is probably reasonably okay. The format is reasonably okay. I would imagine my issue is more in just getting people to click on the videos. I don't know. I think my average click-through rate is something like 2 or 3%. I don't remember what the average is when I looked it up in the videos. I think the biggest things is just the hook part of everything, like getting the thumbnails a little bit more polished up so that people actually want to click on them, getting the intros to my videos a little bit less sloggy to get through. I probably just need to completely do away with intros at all and just start playing and let it go. It feels, and you know, honestly, the more I think about that, the more I think that that probably makes sense, because there used to be a time where every video you watched had some kind of little intro video or something, like a little splash screen or whatever, where, you know, there was a song and a title screen and all that stuff, and you really don't see that almost at all anymore, because people are like, let's hurry up and get to the content already. So I should probably just start playing and not even do the greeting or anything. I don't know. I don't really know what the proper formula for what I need to get done is right now. I'm gonna have a harder time a little bit with that because of the fact that I grew up with regular television. I'm talking about cable TV. That was most of my upbringing, was cable TV. And every show had a title sequence or whatever, and so I'm used to that. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that it's the thumbnails, and then obviously the thumbnail is a critical part of doing everything, and like most things in my life, the most critical stuff you have to do to get things done is almost always the most boring stuff that you have to do to get things done, and you have to slog through the tedium. And until I can afford to pay somebody to do to do those things, I'm gonna have to figure it out and sit down and actually do them. It's like, I don't want to. I don't want to do it. Just the thought of sitting down and individually crafting a thumbnail for each video that like if I did one video a week, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but I do 3+ videos a day. So I have to sit down and record the video. I have to sit down and create the thumbnail. I have to sit down and come up with, you know, whatever else it is that I need to come up with for the videos. And it's a lot of time doing really tedious, boring, mind-numbing things that I just have no interest in doing. And that's why I know that that's probably a big part of why my channel isn't where I would like it to be. And again, like I'm not trying to make this a complainer video. Like I know I'm saying a lot of things that a complaining person would typically say. I understand fully 100% that my channel is what it is because of the way I run my channel. So like I'm not complaining. I'm just acknowledging that I have some deficiencies that probably need to be addressed if I want my channel to get any better than grow any better than it is. I do appreciate all of you who choose to watch these videos. I do appreciate everyone who chooses to subscribe and help the channel grow. You know, it's really awesome that wait, what was I looking for? Oh, okay. Never mind. We're looking for Cactoida, not Concha. I don't even remember what the Cactoida looked like. It's too busy talking. All right. You know what? We're gonna go ahead and just end the video now because we only have a couple minutes left anyway, and I don't even remember what the Cactoida looked like. I was too busy talking and all about all this stuff here. So thank you very much for watching. Be sure to help us reach 10,000 subscribers by hitting that subscribe button and like the video to spread it out to other people. We do have channel memberships available, or you can hit the thanks button for like a tip kind of thing. Be sure to come back for our next episode.